It's time for a wellness revolution. Brought to you by Hotze Health and Wellness Center. Honest discussion on maintaining health and wellness naturally to enjoy a better quality of life.
He's the doctor fighting to let you keep your doctor.
Now, Dr. Stephen Hotze. Dr. Hotze's Wellness Revolution podcast is brought to you by Physician's Preference Pharmacy, formerly Hotze Pharmacy.
Are you plagued with fatigue, difficulty with weight, inability to focus clearly? Hello, I'm Dr. Steve Hotze, and I believe you need a physician who's been trained and a staff of professionals who are trained to coach you on a path of health and wellness naturally. So as you mature, you've got energy, you got vim and vigor, you got vitality, and you're enthusiastic about life. Are you suffering from fatigue, difficulty with weight, inability to focus, poor sleep, joint muscle aches and pains? I want to introduce you to our guest on our podcast today, Magdalena Szczeglik. And Magdalena is originally from Poland, and she's a Lithuanian. Now, Lithuania is one of the countries they call the Baltic. What do they call what are those countries called? Those three countries: Lithuania and Estonia and Latvia.
Yes.
Those are
the Baltic countries, the Eastern European.
Right.
Countries.
Those are three, and they're just right on the coast, aren't they, of the Baltic Sea?
Yes.
So that's where your family was originally from. So tell us, you grew up in Poland, though.
That is correct.
And how did you happen to come to the United States, and how long ago was that?
I came to United States a little bit over 20 years ago, and the main purpose was to reunite with my family. We're all first-generation immigrants. And apart from that, I also wanted to accomplish my educational goals. I already got a degree in education and English in Europe, and I was a practicing teaching professional there. And when I arrived to United States, I decided to expand my horizons. And in addition to that, working in the field, but going to a University of Texas at San Antonio to procure my business degree. And that was very interesting few years of my life, because I have learned so much about not only the culture of the country, but also, how it all operates, and very interesting business concepts and how it's all applied to daily life. And from that, I decided to enter into the working world, and that's how I found myself living in Houston, because it's a very vibrant, cosmopolitan city offering a lot of opportunities.
Right.
And I've been living here ever since.
Was your family here?
At the time, my brother lived here. Then he moved away from the city, but I remained here. And a couple of years ago, I have moved to Katy area, which I love, because it's like a little city in itself.
It is.
And it's very, a great experience of just being in this diverse environment and meeting people from all over the world with different backgrounds. And it's a great learning opportunity as well.
Well, that's wonderful. And we're glad you came.
Yes, and your center is in Katy, so I couldn't miss out on that.
Well, that's right. Well, Magdalena came to us 6 months ago, and you told me you'd been in the work world, but approximately 5 years ago, you were starting to have some issues and some health issues. What was that?
Yes. Now looking back, on this journey, it was a gradual process. It started with smaller symptoms that would progress over time. And last 3 years of my life were unbearable at the time, and that's why my professional life had to, it suffered in that regard, because I was not able to fully participate.
So what kind of issues were you having?
The issues that I was having was difficulty thinking clearly, the brain fog, and also a lot of weight came on me, muscle and joint pains. And
how about your overall energy?
It was very low.
Yeah.
It was very low to the point that it was really difficult to get up in the morning and get through my day.
And you were a young woman. You were in your 30s then.
Yes, and that was the very scary aspect of it, because I felt like at that age that shouldn't be happening.
Oh.
Yes.
But this is not uncommon. We see this very commonly at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center. Women come in either after childbirth or once they hit their mid-30s, early 40s, begin to experience this decline, what they feel is a decline in their health. Now, let me ask you, you mentioned you were having some brain fog. You weren't thinking clearly at that time?
Yes, and also, difficulty putting thoughts together and slow speech. And that was really, really concerning to me, because I felt like I was losing control of my life. And
did you ever think, maybe I'm coming down with early Alzheimer's or dementia? Or
my mother suffered from dementia, and that was my fear too.
Right. Okay, so you were experiencing these problems. Most individuals end up going to see other physicians. Did you see any other physicians about this?
Yes, initially, it was a journey, like I'm saying, so I relied on the conventional medicine.
Right.
I've sought help of 2 doctors, but their solutions that were offering me were not alleviating any of my symptoms.
So what solutions did they offer?
They offered me, synthetic medication, pretty much, just to...
You were already tired, and they were going to sedate you more.
Yes.
Now, were they antidepressants or anti-anxiety or sleep medication? What was it?
It was, one of them was thyroid medication.
Okay.
I stay away from antidepressants. I never
Good.
wanted to get on those.
But they did. So one of the doctors said you may have thyroid and put you on some thyroid preparations,
Correct,
right?
correct.
And did it correct your problem?
No.
Okay.
3 months went by, and I didn't feel any better.
Okay, so you were on Synthroid or Levothyroid or Levoxyl. Do you remember?
I was on NP thyroid.
Okay. Oh, you were on MP thyroid. Okay.
Yes.
Which is a desiccated thyroid. So they apparently didn't have you on enough. Do you remember how much you were on?
30 grams.
Okay. Which is a half a grain.
Okay.
And that probably is not near enough to get you up and running, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you saw these 2 physicians. How did you hear about us here at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center?
Dr. Hotze, I am a big believer in the power of prayer. And when I was suffering and not getting help from where I was looking for, I really got on my knees and asked God to guide me somewhere, because I knew that the answers would be there and the help should be there, but I just didn't know where to find it. So, and that led me to doing very thorough online research based on my symptoms and
Right.
learning about the condition. And because I've been trained in knowing how to do searches based on keywords, the result of those searches was, on the top of the list was your Health and Wellness Center.
Right.
And that brought me to the idea that this should be the right place for me. So I started to read the blog, the questionnaires, before I even make that first phone call
Right.
for consultation. And the more I read, the more I resonated with the stories of the guests of your, that you've been treating over
Right.
the years. And I felt like I just had that belief in me, that Spirit was telling me that this is the way to go and proceed with it.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yes.
This isn't the first time we've had individuals say that they prayed, and next thing you know,
And yes,
things have opened
it's-
up, and they,
it's-
and for some reason, then God directs them towards a health and wellness
Correct,
center, and
correct.
we're grateful that God does that, because we have as our core philosophy our Christian faith, and
Yes.
that's the core of who we are.
Yes.
And our goal is to serve others as we would serve Christ. We want to serve others and help others get their lives back so they can experience a fruitful, really, what our goal is for every one of our guests, like you, to have a transforming, life-changing health experience
Yes.
that would bring them back to life. So because you're a young woman, my goodness, you ought to be brimming with energy. There's
Yes.
no reason you shouldn't be. So make a long story short, we've heard that story many times, people praying about it, and then all of a sudden, God, somewhere or another, they're on an airline, and there's an article on Southwest Airlines, and they turn on the TV, or they turn on the radio, and they hear something about us, and they go on the website, and then it resonates that they ought to come in. So we're glad you did. So when you came in, how was it different when you came into to our center. How was it different than it was going to other doctors? What was the difference? What did you find to be different?
The biggest difference that I found coming here was the level of personalized attention that was given to me and the level of compassion, because at that point I was at a very low point in my life because of everything else that's been going on in my body and affecting my environment. And having that compassionate person talking to me, giving me their time, not rushing, and understanding, and just the fact that they were responding, because you see so many guests, and to them it's almost like just one look at me, they could tell what was wrong. And it was such a lifting up moment for me, because for several years nobody understood me, nobody, and they felt like, I was not speaking correctly or I was making stuff up, which I wasn't. And here I am with a person who understands what I'm going through and is here for me and offering me solutions. So it was extremely, extremely uplifting.
That's right. And who did you see here at the center?
Debbie
Yannick is our nurse practitioner, and
Yes.
she's wonderful.
She is. And what really encouraged me too, the fact that talking to a woman, not that I would be, afraid to talking to a male doctor, but opening up. And she was so good, responding to my emotional needs as well and explaining everything. And she's such a positive person. So even that first visit, when I was still so miserable inside, I felt like, okay, this is my friend going forward, and I can rely on her.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Debbie Yannick is a wonderful practitioner, and she's helped thousands of individuals
Yes.
get their lives back. And that's what we do while we're here. So when she saw you, she added some additional thyroid, put you on more active thyroid hormone, T3.
Correct.
And then she put you on some natural progesterone.
Yes.
Our plan is, on every one of our guests, the way we help our guests get on Path of Health and Wellness is, first we help them adopt the Hotze optimal eating lifestyle, which is cutting out the grains, the
Yes.
pizza, pasta, breads, and all that. So we cut out grain products. We cut out corn, potatoes, and rice, because they're all converted to sugar. Sugar raises insulin. Insulin drives sugar into fat, causes weight gain, and as you gain the weight, you get insulin resistance as well, and that can lead to diabetes and high blood pressure and heart disease and a host of health problems. So the first and basic foundation is to get our guests on a healthy eating program. Now, have you been able to adopt that?
Oh, yes. And it was a very quick, improvement for me, because prior to coming here, I already knew about the grains and sugar.
Right.
So I already put that one out, so the remaining, components of the program were very easy to implement. I love the food. It's very good. And even though I'm past the recommended 3-month period,
Right.
I continue on it because I feel so good,
Right.
and it improves quality of my life.
It does. Now, have you been able to get down to more ideal body weight? Have you been?
Yes, the weight is going down. I would love to trigger it a little bit more faster, but apparently, there's a lot of reactions taking care of the body. But what's really encouraging to me, I'm losing a lot of inches.
That's great.
And I feel it in my clothes. And because, I'm also building muscle, so I think that's where this number is not maybe as low as I want it to
Right.
be at the point. But I feel great, and I am slimming down, physically. I can see that.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
And then we put, besides the eating program, we put you on the thyroid
Yes.
preparation and increase the amount of thyroid you were taking to help you get yourself feeling. What thyroid does is it governs your body's metabolic rate, your metabolism, your energy production.
Yes.
So if you don't have enough thyroid, your body's power plants in the cells, the mitochondria, are low voltage, and you have low voltage of energy in your body, and your body doesn't run well. It runs sluggish.
Yes.
So we want your body to have high levels of energy, high voltage, so you're a live wire. And so that's one thing the thyroid hormone does, and balancing your female estrogen hormone with progesterone will also help you get your metabolism up. And then we put you on some vitamins and minerals to help you detox.
Yes.
So overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best you could imagine feeling, 1 being feeling terrible, when you came in, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your overall health?
3.
A 3.
It was very low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your overall feeling of well-being?
9.
You're up to a 9.
Yes.
Now, that's a big change, isn't it?
It is. It is. And it was so quick, because I understood what was at stake. And I was really, the wonderful thing about your staff is they guide you and you really hold your hand in every week what you need to do. And I complied, and the changes started taking place very, very quickly in my body. And that was so uplifting. Like you said, that live wire went in me, the spirit uplifted. My husband was in awe because, when I was sick, the quality of our married life was not the best because I was always sick.
Right.
And he saw the change in me, and he was so encouraged as well.
Well, I bet.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like you've got your life back?
Yes. And the strength, the inner strength, the mental strength, and everything is starting to come together now. Meaning I'm able to take care of my household, develop my professional skills, being able to support my church as much as I can. So all these areas of life, participate in family and friends' life, it's amazing.
That's wonderful. And this has only been 3 months? 6 months. It's been 6 months.
Yes.
So I want to congratulate you, Magdalena, because you took charge of your health.
Yes. And I remember that on that very first visit when I came here and you met me, Dr. Hotze,
Right.
those were the same words you told me. And I felt so encouraged by them because I had this belief that it's going to work, and it's working.
Well, and so Magdalena is taking charge of her health, and she's gotten her life back. She's feeling well again. And how's this affecting your work? Improving?
Yes, because, I need a lot of mental focus in the concepts that I'm learning right now and the project plans that I'm coming up with. And my energy lasts through late evening hours throughout the day, which is amazing.
Well, so your mental sharpness has come back. And this is really important because people develop as they age. As people get older, commonly they get dementia or Alzheimer's disease. And who wants to get that? Well, that doesn't happen overnight. That takes about 30, 40 years of bad dietary habits, counterfeit conventional medications, which are poisons, lack of vitamins and minerals, and toxins in the environment that get in our system that slowly degenerate our mitochondria, which produce energy and then cause damage in the brain. The brain doesn't work as well. So we commonly see individuals, even in their 40s, coming in with brain fog, and they're not able to focus. So they've got early signs that their brain isn't working well. Well, we want to convert that so as people mature in age, they're bright and alert. When you're 70, 80, 90, you've got sharpness. Well, that can be so Alzheimer's disease and dementia, as well as heart disease, diabetes, blood pressure problems, kidney disorders can all be prevented. But the time to start on it is not after you've had a problem, try to correct it. It's always been said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Prevent yourself now from developing all these diseases of aging that will make you debilitated. And so I congratulate you, Magdalena, for doing that. And I would like to encourage any one of you that wants to take charge of their health, wants to invest in their health. Now, you made an investment in your health, right? When you came out, you made an investment.
Yes, I have.
Is it worth the investment?
It is, because, being sick prior to coming to you, it was costing me a lot, not only financially, but in so many areas of life. So this investment is returning great returns already. So, yeah.
You can't make a better investment than investing in your health and getting your life back. So thank you, Magdalena, for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
God bless you. And
God bless
thank
you
each
too.
one of you. If you'd like to learn more about our program, then you can go to our website, hotzehwc.com. That's HOTZEHWC.com. Or call one of our new guest consultants and visit with them about issues that you're having. Let's see if you're a fit for us and see if we can get you on a path of health and wellness naturally and help you have a life-changing, transforming health experience here at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center. Just give us a call at 281-698-8698.
A special thanks to Physicians Preference Pharmacy, formerly Hotze Pharmacy, proud sponsor of Dr. Hotze's Wellness Revolution podcast.
Information provided on this radio program is neither intended nor implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice and is not intended to replace the services of a physician, nor does it constitute a doctor-patient relationship. You should not use information from this radio program to diagnose or treat a health problem or disease without consulting with a qualified healthcare provider. If you have or suspect you have an urgent medical problem, promptly contact a professional healthcare provider or call 911. Dr. Hotze's Wellness Revolution radio program advises you to always seek the advice of a physician or other qualified health provider prior to starting any new treatment or with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Any application of the recommendations from this radio program is at the listener's discretion.